Within Sakamoto Days, there's a group of assassins that are referred to as the Order. This group containing only the strongest assassins that exist to maintain order within the assassin world, only to be shown when things get completely out of control. Their power and existence so elusive and respected that the group is considered to be an urban legend. Each member of the Order stands head and shoulders above all other assassins in every single way possible, with it being stated that one can easily destroy an entire branch of the Japanese Association of Assassins. Even within this group of characters who stand on top of the Sakamoto Days verse, there's one who stands far above the rest. Takamura, a very short old man who always keeps his eyes closed, but do not let that fool you. Best described as a killer with no breaks, Takamura represents something of a natural disaster within the world of Sakamoto Days. He's seen as senile and someone who only reacts to evil intent. Uzuki, the primary antagonist, simply says, nobody knows what he's thinking, how long he's been in the Order, or what he is to the JAA. All that's known about Mr. Takamura is how strong he is. There was a time when I thought he was like Santa or some kind of ghost, a fictional character from the collective imagination. And in response to this, Gaku would state, so he's like the personification of the bloodlust of all the assassins in the world. And this would be an understatement. Takamura enters the series in chapter 38. He sits alongside the rest of the Order as they drive to handle a group of 4 assassins. As every other character in the Order sees a fly pass by him, they all express shock and instantly lower their bodies in order to avoid his instantaneous cut. 11 chapters later, Takamura will display himself cutting the entire Tokyo Tower with ease, and this was so he could help Sakamoto protect the civilians of Japan since the tower was falling. He then calls a cab and leaves the area. Takamura then returns 2 chapters later in that same cab. He arrives at the JAA while Uzuki was attempting to raid and take it over. Takamura immediately exits the cab and instantly blitzes 2 henchmen, entering the facility. And the first character in the series to come across the Grim Reaper himself was unfortunately Gaku. Something's coming. Takamura simply walks towards Gaku, and Gaku's able to instantly recognize Takamura as a high-level threat despite having no idea of who he is. Gaku, who boasts some of the highest physical strength in the series, slams his massive hammer on Takamura, only for it to be blocked with relative ease, and before he could even register what was happening, a slash is sent his way. As the entire building is cut, he barely dodges, losing some fingers and an ear. Gaku then tries to retaliate, but his weapon is cut in half. It cannot be stopped. We later see Gaku running from Takamura as he interrupts Sakamoto and Uzuki, stating that nobody told him about this old guy here, and behind Sakamoto, Takamura slowly opens the door. Uda tries to attack Takamura, and he's easily dismantled. Gaku takes his chance to try another attack on him, but Takamura takes his arm this time around. Uzuki simply wants no parts of this and decides to grab Gaku and retreat, using Uda as a diversion and setting off an explosion point blank in Takamura's face. Here, Takamura's condition would be left unknown until the art exhibition arc. In this arc, the chairman of the JAA would classify Kei Uzuki, Yoichi Nagumo, and Taro Sakamoto as special class A extermination targets for a conspiracy against the JAA. As Nagumo himself is stated to be one of the top 2 members of the Order and someone who cleared Gaku in mid-difficulty. You would think it'd be ridiculous for them to turn on him, especially when the condition of their other top 2 is unknown. However, he does arrive. Takamura appears in front of the trio and they all strike him at once. It's pointless. He parries all their attacks with one motion, while simultaneously unsheathing his blade. He launches a slash and it lands on Uzuki, and after Nagumo saves him, he ponders on his thoughts for a bit, but this is not a battle where you can have such a luxury. Takamura cuts him down right after, and this is when Sakamoto himself takes over. He dodges a slash from Takamura, kicking him toward a van, but Takamura is able to land perfectly on the van anyway. Sakamoto, when told to run, states that his maximum focus is a must in this battle. He and Takamura fight for a bit, and Sakamoto ends up stating that Takamura has become much stronger since Sakamoto has left the Order. As the struggle continues, Sakamoto tries his hardest to fight against Takamura. His first plan was to stop him from being able to unsheath his blade. This plan does not work, as Takamura has more than enough physical strength to overpower Sakamoto's leg. Here, Sakamoto concludes that it's pointless to fight Takamura directly, so he makes the decision to focus on his katana. And as he dulls it down, he tries to break the katana for good by shooting at it with his trademark weapon, his pistol. This being the first time Sakamoto has ever used this weapon in battle. But Takamura takes his blade and sharpens it with the bullets that were shot at him by Sakamoto, cutting him down right after. As the trio is down, all hope seems lost, but Gaku comes in for a rematch, and not only this, but Haruma attempts to back him up. Gaku, Haruma, and Uzuki all attempt to fight Takamura together. Haruma launches his signature bowling ball toward Takamura and it's cut with ease. This causes Uzuki to create a plan that consists of taking advantage of Takamura's awareness due to him being a killing machine that has extreme sensitivity. He intends to fight Takamura with the intention of immobilizing him rather than killing, and it works. Uzuki manages to restrain Takamura's arm with his chain whip. In here, it seems as if there's hope to restrain this natural disaster, but even that isn't enough. Takamura finally decides to speak, and he asks everyone present if they believe that he's senile. Takamura cuts off his arm from the chain whip and reattaches it to his body. This being due to his slashes being so clean and perfect that the muscle tissue of his arm survives being cut and allows reattachment. He would then grab his blade as he simply states that the world is full of scumbags who do not deserve to live. He then instantly blitzes Haruma, cutting him clean in half. Before this attack could also cut Uzuki in half, Haruma managed to push him away before he was caught. Sakamoto Nagumo then tried to attack him, but Takamura manages to parry both of these fighters at the same time. Gaku, seeing both of Takamura's arms occupied, takes the opportunity to get in there and fight, but Takamura is able to stab him and he catches the blade with his mouth, grabbing Takamura and cutting his right eye with the blade. Takamura responds by stabbing Gaku in the chest with the broken part of the blade that he was still holding on to, and after this, he'll blitz Sakamoto and Nagumo with this same blade, cutting them down with ease once again. And as Sakamoto falls, he states that all of these characters together cannot defeat him. Uzuki is last alive, and he breaks down, screaming about how he always takes away his family. The blade comes toward him, and Uzuki snatches it and cuts Takamura in half instantly. As another moment of extreme stress has hit Uzuki, he created another personality. This ability, allowing Uzuki to replicate the personality and fighting style of anyone that he sees in the case that he's pushed to a moment of extreme levels of stress. For example, he has stolen the ability of Rihanna Kao, and by proxy, has access to her killing threads. Before Takamura could finish off Uzuki, he would create a new personality, one that resembles Takamura himself, and blitz him. And this would end Takamura's story and feats. A couple things of note when it comes to his strength is that Uzuki chose to fight Sakamoto in their first reunion, whereas he wanted no parts of Takamura, even with Gaku present. Couple this with the fact that Uzuki believed Gaku would be the one to fight Takamura in the future, and this same Gaku would get destroyed by Nagumo, the same Nagumo who ended up getting bullied by Takamura with both Sakamoto and Gaku on his side. However, the argument can be made that Nagumo did not place any of his focus onto the battle before it was too late, and he was already weakened by Gaku by the time they fought Takamura together anyway. Takamura is portrayed as the boogeyman of the boogeymen, and he certainly lives up to that portrayal through all of his feats, battles, and statements in the series. Against all members of the Order maybe bearing Nagumo, he would cut them down instantly, and even in Nagumo's case, Nagumo would probably be finished by the third slash. Against all members of Al-Kamar, he can probably solo the entire organization up until Uzuki creates the Takamura personality within himself. He can easily solo Sakamoto and his entire shop, and most likely is able to defeat Prime Sakamoto, as Sakamoto stated that Takamura has become way more powerful after Sakamoto himself left the Order. So if you had to ask, how strong is Takamura? Well, he's the strongest character bar none, until now, as he got cut down easily by Uzuki. I don't think there's too much of a gap between these two characters, as Uzuki caught Takamura completely off guard in mid-swing, but Uzuki stealing Takamura's abilities and adding that to everything he can do probably puts him at number 1. Takamura, though, as we can see, is able to handle multiple top tier fighters of the verse all at once and with relative ease, so he's up in the top 2 easily. And with that said, I hope you guys managed to enjoy this video, and without a doubt, you can expect more Sakamoto Days content. Peace.